Hey guys, what is up? It is Dangeles, and welcome back to episode 220 of Constructing Los Angeles. How is everybody doing? We are back on the city today, ready to continue to make some progress. Today I'm going to be working on the Tinsel Towers building. So, of course, as you guys know, this is one of the buildings here on Los Angeles that's based off of GTA. Obviously, we have the Eclipse Towers, the two of them over there, somewhere over in the distance. And we have the Tinsel Tower here, which is basically the smaller version of that. In a nutshell, it's obviously a little bit different, but the main thing is that it's much smaller. So I'm going to work on the interior of this today because it's hasn't been worked on yet pretty much at all. So I would like to make some progress on it today, and that is going to be the plan. So before I get started, I noticed here that this log is sideways, which I am not a big fan of. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and quickly turn that so it's facing the ground, and that is going to be much better. So let's fly on inside of this building, which I really do like on the outside. I think it turned out great with the black stained glass and just kind of revamping it because we originally built this thing, and as many of you guys know, it was one of the first skyscrapers, or I guess you could call this just like a regular building. It's not really that tall, but it was one of the first on Los Angeles to be built, and then we kind of revamped it over the summer, and now it looks much better. So it is pretty dark and spooky in here, so let's just go ahead and splash myself with some night potions so I can see the light. And the general layout of this room is kind of like up for, determination, I guess. It's up for change. Over here we have the garage space. This is going to be like that typical 10-car garage that we have on the Eclipse Tower as well. And that's going to go there. Here's the exit to the garage. It kind of leads into like this little hallway that leads to the main lobby. The thing about this building is I plan on making the interior pretty much completely my own design, because it's basically the same exact interior on the Tinsel Tower as it is on the Eclipse Tower in the game. And since this is a much smaller space on Minecraft, obviously that's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to put the exact same apartment interior as I did for the Eclipse Tower here on this building. So I'm going to do my own little thing today and just kind of, go through it. So the thing about building skyscrapers is you have to make sure that you run through your checklist of everything that you need to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is build the staircase. Obviously, I've kind of neglected this on several of the buildings, which is something I've been kind of working on a little bit, trying to create like fire escapes and things like that on the backs and the alleyways, because that's kind of important, because you have to have a staircase on a building, or it's like that's just very poor construction, I guess. It's not really going to work too well. But the way I want to do this is I should probably start from up here, right? And let me grab myself some full quartz blocks. So essentially I want to kind of have this eventually connect to there. So I'm just going to kind of keep on turning this until we get to like that point where it's going to connect nicely. So obviously I just kind of have to keep taking this upward, and then I'm going to turn it here, place another block there, and then kind of just continue this exact same theme as I go up through the floors. Again, these are going to be single layered floors, again, just like we did on the Eclipse Tower. So that'll go there, and then pretty much we're at the top again. So what I might start doing, just to kind of perfect this, is I'll take this out a couple of blocks so I have no room for error there, and I can kind of just continue the same theme going up and up. So I'll kind of just continue to take it up, and I don't think I'll be able to bonk my head here. I think I should be good walking up and down. So that will work just fine. So basically this is going to be the spiral staircase, or I guess it's not really a spiral, but the basic staircase that's going to run up through the floors of this building and connect each floor to each other, and that should work out pretty nicely. So I'm just going to kind of do 2 or 3 floors as an example right now, and we'll go from there. So this one's already at the top again, so we just kind of continue the same theme, just extend the full quartz blocks just a little bit further than I would normally, and everything will connect nice and smooth. So that's pretty much the goal. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in to episode 220 of CLD. Originally I said that I was going to do a post commentary episode, but I wanted to kind of get some stuff done on this building, and I wanted to do it live today. So how about this? 221 over the weekend probably is when I'll upload that. I will do a post commentary episode since I really enjoy those, and you guys seem to like those as well. It's kind of like a break from the live commentary video. So we'll be doing that, and that's going to be pretty exciting. And I have to say, it's been pretty tough lately to kind of keep my mouth shut because I've been working on some secret stuff in the city, and I've already said too much, but I've been working hard and I haven't really been able to kind of show anybody, and that always frustrates me when I'm building stuff. Or like when I have to build something that's so like huge or whatever, and I can't show anybody, you know, the progress that I'm making, because I'm just so used to showing people the progress I've made on builds just from all this time doing, you know, CLD and just kind of showcasing my stuff. So it's been a interesting last few weeks here working on the city, but we're grinding it out. You know, we're at that stage of the city where we're doing a lot of the stuff that, you know, the stuff that I would probably put off until the end, like I'm doing right now, but the stuff that has to be done in order to kind of build like a fully functional city. So we're really getting pretty close here to the grand finale, I would say. All right, so let's see. I gotta try to fit a upside down stair right in there. So let me do that. Place that back, and that's essentially gonna be the staircase design that's gonna go all the way up through this building. So really, the next thing I have to do to this is just kind of shape the stairwell here and just add some blocks around it. So obviously, it's not just, you know, open like this, and any, you know, 5-year-old kid would fall off and hurt themselves. So we got to make sure to avoid any of those hazardous issues here. Not like there's any 5-year-old kids walking around CLD, as it is just me. But still, we have to, you know, account for this kind of stuff. All right, so let's see. We're going to kind of take this up through here and take it up through here as well. And then I think what I'm going to do is just kind of just continue this just a couple levels here just to get a general idea of how this is going to look. But it's probably pretty straightforward here. So that's going to go like that. And then let me just go ahead and quickly grab some night vision here, because I don't want to place any glowstone just yet. And then last but not least, let's add 2 more right there. And that's just kind of like the starter walls there. So we're also going to work on the floor plan of this floor very shortly. So next thing on the agenda book is to add maybe some glass. I'm trying to remember how I did this on the Eclipse Tower. I think what I did is I expanded this out extra blocks like this. And then I kind of just pretty much just filled it in. You know, that's pretty much what I did. Just keep everything, you know, really simple. So what I might do is have the opening to the room in here. So let me go ahead and grab some block that might look good here. So I'm thinking either just like a standard oak door, which is always a good option, or one of these. I think I'm just going to go with the standard oak door, because that is still my favorite door. So that'll be the entrance into the staircase room, as you can see. And that will kind of just take you up. Very, very simple. You know, that's a basic tutorial, guys, on how to build, you know, a staircase for a skyscraper in Minecraft. That's a pretty solid little thing that you can follow right there. And I think I'm just going to leave it just as simple as that. You know what I might do? I think I actually did this on the original build, but on the Eclipse Tower. So I kind of just had like a little glass lining around that, just so you can kind of see in there, so it's not too dark and spooky. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly type in stairs right here. So let me just kind of type this real quick. It's been a while since I typed on the controller, and boy, is it a pain in the butt. All right. So there we go. We have our staircase right there. That's kind of the entrance to that, and that's looking pretty stellar. So we will go with that. And then what I want to do now is I can actually turn this and actually take this right here instead. You know, I actually could leave that little notch there. That way we can have like a little room. Yeah, I think we'll do that actually. What I might do is actually kind of make some sort of like curving design, so the room is shaped something like that. That actually might look pretty good. So this will go down through here and connect all the way to the wall. And as far as this extra space back here, I'm not really sure what I want to do with it, because I only really plan to have one apartment garage. So I mean, I could technically put another garage on this back street here, because we do have this little street behind the buildings here that kind of runs through. I originally started doing stuff like this, and then I kind of just stopped. So again, and this is another one, like this one right here, it's basically a dead end. The only real use for this street, and the reason why I kept it, is so we can, like, you know, there's access to the inside of the theater, which needs to be worked on at some point. So let's see, let's fly back over here. I think I might actually add, you know, a second garage, because it would just help with the symmetry of things. So, you know, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so there's going to be a block that runs across right here. That's going to be kind of the floor plan. Then we got to jump a couple of blocks and take this down here. And then this magically becomes the new lobby space. So right here, are we going to extend this back? I think I will. Kind of just, you know, make this indented so it's kind of separating itself from everything else. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to grab some stone just to kind of fill that in because that's going to bug me. And yeah, that looks pretty good. So now let's do the exact same thing we had on the other side. Let's kind of create this little hallway here that connects to the garage, but not necessarily, you know, also, well, it also connects to the outside because there's a door right there. So that works pretty good. And then, of course, the garage will be over there. So now we have 2 garages, okay? And this is looking pretty nice. So the next thing we got to figure out is what we're going to do with this space back here. This is probably going to be, you know, we actually could make a little, like, driveway through here that could connect one garage to the other. That actually could work. I think I am going to do that because that could be kind of cool looking. So let's just kind of shape out how that's going to work. This will go down right here. And then this will open. So this is going to be a little garage behind, a little hallway, or a driveway, I guess, for the cars. So kind of have this U shape now on the inside here with the, you know, the garage. This is a parking lot over here. There's a parking lot over here. And then you can kind of drive across on the inside. So that's kind of cool. And that leaves us still plenty of space for this lobby. And the next thing we got to figure out is the elevator shaft. So, gosh darn elevator shafts here in Los Angeles. You know, you need one for every building. And they are a pain in the butt to build. But again, I'm going to, just like I did for the staircase, I'm going to show you guys a basic idea of what I could create for this. Because it's going to be challenging just based off of the dimensions of this building. It doesn't make it easy for myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this run down like this. And I'm going to do something very similar to the Eclipse Tower. The Eclipse Tower is a great resource to have here on this world because it gives me a reference on how to create things that would be somewhat difficult. So let me go ahead and grab some, let's go some dark oak wood planks. I think those will look pretty good as like an elevator door. So let's just say we're going to work on the elevator door up here, and I'll splash myself before my night vision wears away. So let's just say we're going to work on an elevator right here like that. So okay, that looks pretty good. And so this is going to go up right here and right here, and this is going to be the elevator shaft itself, which might not even be this wide. It's basically, I kind of created the same width as the staircase, but I will figure that out later. So the elevator shaft will be this wide, and I don't like to make my elevator shafts like super duper wide because it just kind of takes up too much space. However, for this one I might make an exception because it's such a small space. So I'll just extend this out 1 extra block and take this across right here and right here. And then this right here is going to be our elevator door. So I'll take this up 2 blocks like this. And then this can go over it like this. I'll do that 3 blocks tall. And then I could probably just grab some slabs or something like that. You know, it doesn't really matter, but I'll just put some quartz slabs right there. And then I'm going to grab a button and place it on the side for our, you know, up and down buttons, I guess, on both sides. And just like that, we have our elevator door, and then we're going to kind of create an elevator shaft to kind of work around that. So let's just fill in these walls real quick. We're going to have 2 apartments on each side of the building, just like we did on the Eclipse Tower. So I'll probably just do some glass above this, keep it simple. And then I think I'm going to do some dark oak wood doors because I really do like these. One might say that I adore them. I know, I'm just a master of the puns. Okay, and then over here, I think I might do some white stained glass. Just to give it a little bit of a change of pace. Because I actually do like the white stained glass, so I would like to use it a little bit more. Okay, so we'll do that. And then, of course, I'm going to grab a oak wood door right there. And we have ourselves the connection to the stairwell. We have ourselves the connection to the elevator shaft. And then we have our 2 apartment entrances on both sides. And just like that, we've kind of created ourselves a little bit of a lobby for the first floor. So the next kind of order of business is to count this. We have 4 and 1. So if we move this over, we'd have 2 and 3. So there's really no way for me to make this symmetrical unless I made these doors double. So I'm just going to leave it just like that, 1 block away from the glass that connects to the staircase. That's just fine. And then I'm going to probably do a little carpet in this floor just to kind of add some stuff to this. And the beauty of this is on the first floor is I can actually double stack this because it's the first floor. So alright guys, so there's just a little, you know, floor idea. Just put in some spruce wood and just a little bit of a green carpet over that. I might even just, you know, mix this up a little bit, maybe throw in some different colors just to make it look a little bit better, because, you know, you can always add more colors to make it look better. So maybe we'll just kind of mix it up and make it look like some sort of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or something. I don't even know. But alright, so the next thing we're going to do is just put a little light in the ceiling. So I'll just kind of make this real simple, 2 blocks wide, a couple of pieces of beacon. So, and just like that, we have ourselves a little bit of a lobby for this first floor. I'm gonna place some Danville's anvils. We can never forget them. Never forget the Danville's anvils. I'm also gonna grab some signs. I'm gonna put the apartment sign just right next to the doors like that. And just like that, we have ourselves a little bit of a lobby for this first floor. That's like perfect. And of course, this is going to get copied and pasted throughout every floor of the building. And that's pretty much standard. So next thing we got to do is just finalize this elevator shaft to get this thing all figured out. So let's just take this down like this. And we're going to kind of take it back up right here. And same thing on this side. We're going to use some quartz and some stone just to kind of mix and match things. And you know, you always got to make sure you add more color to this because we don't want everything to be all bland. So we're going to do that later on. But just as a start, we're going to use the basic, you know, layout blocks is what I like to call them because they help me lay stuff out. All right, so yeah, we have to decide if we want to make this thinner because this is a pretty darn wide elevator shaft. And I'm starting to think that I want to make it a little bit less wide so I have a little bit more space down below. I think I'm going to do that. So let me just go ahead and quickly splash myself again. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to break this here and just, I really shouldn't have filled this in. That was kind of a mistake. I should have made sure that I had the right dimensions first, but that's all right. You know, you make mistakes. So let's go ahead and take this up here. And again, right down through here. So we're going to have this run up and I'll connect this to the ceiling and then back down. By the way, I wanted to mention real quick, I'm not going to answer a question of the day today, but if I do an episode, like a post commentary episode next time, I will probably answer a question of the day so I have something to talk about during that. But I'm going to hold off on a question of the day until then, just kind of make sure I'm focusing on the build because sometimes I just kind of get into the zone here and I'm just going off and I can't interrupt this mojo right now. So let's just keep on letting this stuff get done. So I'm going to fill in that stone right there and then replace that, fill that back in. And then all I got to do really is, well, I guess this would go down right here because we want to make sure that the door is available. So this would go down right here, fill back up and go back down again. This would fill in right here, take this up. And this is going to be our elevator shaft. Again, it's not too far away from the staircase, but the idea is I'm going to have some reception desks on both sides. Oh, no, not another reception desk. Yes, sir. So I'll take this up right here. And I'll probably do something with this, or I might just get rid of this stone in the back here, or I might do something with it. I'm not really sure yet, because I kind of backed this with stone because it kind of matched the area above, but I could always change it. So there we go. We have our elevator shaft. I know it's kind of like right smack in the middle of the building, but I don't really have any other choices as far as like where I can place it if I want to kind of make these apartments the way I want them. So we worked around on the Eclipse Tower, so I don't see any reason why we can't do the same here on the Tinsel Tower. So again, there's our door here that's kind of just cracked open. You know, we got to have everything in the middle of action. And boom, we have our elevator shaft and our staircase just like that, you know, just kind of knocked out in one episode. So here is, again, the little idea of what the lobby's going to look like. I kind of like it. It feels a lot more cozy than the Eclipse Tower just because it's a little bit smaller. And let me just get a general idea of what this looks like on the exterior of the building as well. So we're going to just fly out here real quick and just take a look at the progress that's being made. As you can see, it's a pretty small space, but it works great. I do like how the elevator is kind of sticking out through the glass. That is something that was not the case on the Eclipse Tower, so a little bit of a change that I think is pretty nice. And then on the other side, we have the staircase that you can kind of see going up as well. So that's going to be a nice little design that we can follow throughout the entire, you know, height of the building. So that's going to be pretty good. And to kind of do the last few things of today's episode, guys, I'm just going to see if I can kind of mock myself up a little floor plan here for these apartments real quick before we kind of conclude today. So I'm just trying to think of how I want to do this because obviously we need to have our checklist of a bathroom, a bedroom, a living room, a kitchen, and I would like to have an office as well. So we'll kind of see what we can come up with here. So let's just say we have, let's say we take this across right here and to here, and we create, like, this will just be like a little closet, just kind of like a little entrance closet. We'll have the bathroom, bedroom area over here. So, let's see. How do you want to do this? Because I could have a kitchen over here. I think that would probably be best. Like have a kitchen, living room space over here. And then I could kind of take the wall across. I guess I could just take it across right here. And then this could be the kitchen. And then I'll have kind of like an opening here that leads into the bedroom space. Let me splash myself again. Bedroom space, and gotta figure this is going to be the bathroom. So maybe I'll do this. I'll have this go across right here and connect to here, and this can be the bathroom. I don't know, that seems kind of small for the bathroom, but I think I'll go with that. Then the bedroom can be in this space. So I'll kind of take this across right here. And actually, if the bedroom's going to be in this space, or I could actually could put it right here. Have that open. That could be like the bedroom bathroom combo. And then this could be just kind of like a living space, and then the kitchen could be here. You know, that might actually work better. So that would give us, and I also want to add an office as well. So maybe I'll take this across right here and kind of have that open. So the new floor plan would be you walk into the room, you have yourself a kitchen just off to the right, you have yourself a little closet, you know, right at the entrance, and then over here we have ourselves a living room, just like a little living space. I'll put a TV on that wall, couch, stuff like that. And here will be an office space, so I'll kind of have a little gaming setup or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Through here is going to be the bedroom, and then the bathroom connected to that. I think that should be pretty good for these pretty small apartments. Again, these are going to be just one floor apartments, unlike the Eclipse Tower. So that's going to be a pretty solid little floor plan, and I'll kind of just quickly see if I can recreate the same thing on the other side. So ROM block, let's take this across right here. Quickly recreate this. I think I'm doing this on the right side. Am I doing this on the right side? Yeah, I am. Okay. So that'll open up right there. This is going to go across right here and connect there. So it's kind of cool connecting these to like the little pillars on the outside. It's not necessary. And as you saw, I didn't do it on every single part. And then what did I do after that? I can't remember. So I had going across right there, and then okay, so this is going to go across right here and connect down to here. And wait, hold on, I don't think I did that right. Wait, no, that's right. I think it is. Yeah, that's right. And then this is going to go across right here. That'll be the bathroom, bedroom, and then of course this goes across right here and connects, and that will be the office. So there we go, guys. That's going to be the little basic floor plan of what we're going to do for these buildings, and I'll start to fill those in and get the furnished going, get it all furnished and stuff like that. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to say, but that's going to be it for today's episode of Constructing Los Angeles. Thank you guys very much for watching. Got some really good progress done on the inside of the Tinsel Tower, just getting everything planned out for, you know, creating the interior of this building. I think it's going to be a pretty nice building when it's all said and done. When it's completed, it should be right up on the same level of the Eclipse Tower in terms of the interior and how nice it looks. And it's basically just going to be like a smaller version of that building, and that should be a pretty nice little final product. So again, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 220 of Constructing Los Angeles. I'll see you guys in a few days for episode 221, which will most likely be a post-commentary episode. We'll see, though. Who knows what'll happen. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you guys want to leave a question of the day, submission in the comment section, or send one to me on Twitter, I would appreciate it. I'll go through those and see if I can find them for next episode. I do have one lined up for 221, but I'm always loving to stash up the question of the days. So thank you guys very much for watching. Give it a like if you enjoy it. I'll see you guys in a few days for episode 221. Until then, have a good day, and peace out, guys.